Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Talk English with Lucy and Joseph. I'm Lucy.
And I'm Joseph. Welcome to all our amazing listeners out there.
Before we dive into today's topic, if you're watching this on YouTube, please give us a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so you never miss an episode.
Absolutely. And if you're listening on any other platform, please follow us there too. It really helps us create more content for you.
So, Joseph, today we're talking about something super important for English learners, how to introduce yourself. This is probably one of the first things you'll need to do when meeting new people.
Oh, yes. And you know what, Lucy? I still remember the first time I had to introduce myself in a foreign language. I was so nervous.
Really? Tell us about that.
Well, I was learning Spanish and I was at this party in Madrid. I walked up to someone and I said, "Hola, yo soy Joseph." And then nothing. My mind went completely blank.
Oh no, that's so awkward.
Exactly. I knew I wanted to say more, but I just didn't have the vocabulary or phrases ready. That's why preparation is so important.
That's such a perfect example. So let's help our listeners avoid that situation. Joseph, what's the most basic way to introduce yourself in English?
The simplest way is just, "Hi, I'm," and then your name. For example, "Hi, I'm Joseph." Super easy, right?
Right, and you can also say, "Hello, my name is Lucy," or even more casual, like, "Hey, I'm Lucy."
Now, what comes after that? That's where people often get stuck.
Exactly. So you can add where you're from. I'm from Canada, or I come from Brazil. Both work perfectly.
Yeah, and then maybe what you do for work or study, like, "I'm a teacher," or "I'm a student," or "I work in marketing."
Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm from England and I'm an English teacher. I love helping people learn languages.
Nice. That sounds so natural. Now let me try. Hello, my name is Joseph. I come from the United States and I work as a podcast host. In my free time, I enjoy reading and traveling.
Oh, that's great. You added a hobby at the end. That's a really good tip.
Yeah, adding a hobby or interest gives the other person something to talk about. It's like giving them a conversation starter.
Absolutely. Speaking of conversation starters, this is a perfect time to remind everyone, if you're enjoying this episode, please hit that like button and share it with your English learning friends.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified when we release new episodes every week.
Okay, so let's talk about some different situations. Joseph, how would you introduce yourself at work versus at a party?
Great question. At work, I'd be more formal. Maybe, "Good morning, I'm Joseph Smith. I'm the new marketing assistant."
Right, more professional.
Exactly. But at a party, I'd be more relaxed. "Hey, I'm Joseph. How do you know Sarah?" That's assuming Sarah is hosting the party.
Oh, that's clever. You're immediately connecting with them through the host. That makes conversation flow so much easier.
And here's something I learned the hard way. Always be ready with a follow-up question.
Oh, yes. Like what?
Well, after I introduce myself, I might ask, "And you? What's your name?" Or, "How about you? What do you do?" It keeps the conversation going.
That's so important. You know what? I have a little confession to make. Even as a native speaker, I sometimes get nervous introducing myself in certain situations.
Really? Like when?
Well, last month I went to this networking event for teachers, and I was so intimidated. Everyone seemed so accomplished. I walked up to this group and said, "Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm just a small-town English teacher."
Oh no, you said just a?
I know, right? That was terrible. I immediately made myself sound less important.
That's such a good lesson for our listeners. Never use just when introducing yourself. You should be proud of who you are.
You know, Joseph, that reminds me of another common mistake I hear from our students. They often translate directly from their native language, which can sound really unnatural. Exactly. So instead, I should have said, "Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm an English teacher from a small town, and I love helping students discover their potential."
Oh, yes, I've heard this so many times. Like when Spanish speakers say, I call myself Maria instead of my name is Maria or I'm Maria. It sounds really formal and strange in English.
Perfect. That sounds confident and interesting. You turned small town from something negative into something unique about yourself.
Exactly, and I've noticed that speakers of some Asian languages tend to put too much detail in their introduction right away. They might say, "Hello, I am 25 years old, student from Tokyo, Japan, studying business administration at university." While it's not wrong, it's just too much information all at once.
Right. And you know what else is great? Adding something unexpected or fun. Like I could say, I'm an English teacher and I collect vintage postcards from around the world.
Right. In English, we like to keep initial introductions simple and let the conversation flow naturally. You can always share more details as you continue talking. Something like, "Hi, I'm Yuki from Tokyo," is perfect to start with.
Oh, that's cool. Do you really collect postcards?
I do. I have over 200 from different countries. People always want to know more when I mention that.
See, that's exactly what I mean. It's memorable and gives people something specific to talk about with you.
So, listeners, think about what makes you unique. Maybe you play an unusual instrument, or you've lived in 3 different countries, or you make amazing cookies. These details make you memorable.
Absolutely. And here's a practical tip. Practice your introduction out loud. In the mirror, with friends, even with your pet.
With your pet, that's hilarious. But actually, that's brilliant advice.
Hey, my cat is a very good listener. But seriously, the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. You want it to flow smoothly when you need it.
That's so true. And remember, it's okay to have different versions. A short one, a longer one, a funny one, a professional one.
Yeah, like having different outfits for different occasions.
Perfect analogy. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about body language quickly. Joseph, what should people remember about their body language when introducing themselves?
Great point. Stand up straight, make eye contact, and smile genuinely. And don't forget to offer a handshake in professional situations.
Yes, your body language is just as important as your words. It shows confidence and friendliness.
Absolutely. And here's something cultural. In some places, people shake hands longer. In others, it's just a quick shake. Pay attention to what others do.
And speaking of cultural differences, it's not just handshakes. In some cultures, people bow. In others, they might touch their heart. And some cultures are more comfortable with personal space than others. The key is to observe and adapt. Good point. All right, everyone, we're coming to the end of today's episode. Let's do our learning recap.
Exactly. And don't worry if you make a small cultural mistake. Most people understand that you're learning and adapting. If someone extends their hand for a handshake and you miss it, just smile and say, "Nice to meet you," warmly. The intention matters more than perfect execution.
That's perfect. And another thing, be prepared for follow-up questions. Sometimes people ask questions that can be tricky to answer, like, "Where are you really from?" if you have an accent, or "What exactly do you do?" if you have an unusual job. Before we move to our recap, let me quickly mention what not to include in your introduction. Avoid negative information like, "I'm terrible at English," or "I'm really bad with names." Also, skip overly personal details like health issues or relationship problems. Save those for when you know someone better.
Perfect. So today's practical phrase to remember is, "Hi, I'm name, I'm from country, and I work as," or "I'm a job."
So true. And avoid being too humble or self-deprecating. Instead of, I'm just a student, or I only work part-time, say, I'm studying engineering, or I work part-time while I'm finishing my degree. Frame everything positively.
Great point. For the where are you really from question, you can say something like, I was born in Korea, but I've been living in Canada for 10 years, so I consider myself Canadian Korean. And for unusual jobs, give a simple analogy first, like, I'm a UX designer. Basically, I make websites and apps easier to use.
One last tip before we wrap up. Don't overthink it. The goal of an introduction is just to break the ice and start a connection. Most people are understanding and patient, especially if they can tell you're learning English.
Great! And our 3 words to remember are confident, unique, and memorable. Be confident when you speak, share something unique about yourself, and make yourself memorable.
Absolutely. And remember, everyone feels a little nervous sometimes when meeting new people. Just be yourself, smile, and most importantly, have fun with it. English learning should be enjoyable, not stressful.
Perfect summary, Lucy. And remember, everyone, practice makes perfect. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Before we sign off, if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. Also, tell us in the comments, what's your favorite way to introduce yourself?
Yes, we love reading your comments and hearing about your experiences. And don't forget to follow us on all platforms where you listen to podcasts.
Next week, we'll be talking about small talk, how to keep conversations going after you've introduced yourself. You won't want to miss that.
Until then, keep practicing your English. And remember, every conversation is a chance to improve.
Thanks for listening to Real Talk English with Lucy and Joseph. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.